Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, hajime mashite. Tomoshimasu XTRG. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Probably fucked that up. Might as well try and make use of it. Right, okay. So I got the turn back from Dadman. So, we shall do the Dadman. How you doing there, Alex? Hello there, G-Man. Hello there, Pistol. Again, not updated mods. Forgot to update chat colors. The usual. The usual. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. Okay. Chick stick scars. I do have a slight worry though, because we're marching to Gyanko. Okay, music's good, good, good. Okay, we're marching to Gyanko. I do have a slight worry that he maybe crosses, but I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those of when I was worrying about it, and it might be a little bit too cautious. We're in movement mode, so I don't know. Even if he does cross over, I don't think he will. We didn't see any indication of it marching, so we've got to have some faith at some point, I suppose. And if he does actually cross, then yeah. Well, I mean, this is it. It's not too far away, depending on things that happen now. If it continues, I mean, I think the big thing is if we can get Gyanko, then that's going to be a tremendously large win there. Because then we're actually in that area. We're finally there. I mean, marching to Chongqing. Chongqing's a ×2. So we see the Dutch colonial sub here. I am sending additional PBs down this area and some AGs and an AG and a AD, I believe it is. Is Chongqing ×3? I forget if it's ×3 or ×2. I-25 here. Right. So I did send I-25 to try and engage the ships out that way. Ideally, it might be able to track them down. It's going to be heading out west. The ASW is likely going to be doing the same. But we'll see if we can try and track down where the AKs are. Well, I assume there were more. We did see a couple of the task forces as well. Oh, he's laying mines here, is he? Wow. That's a very bold movement. He's actually trying to mine track. What a nasty son of a bitch. As they are level 6 forts. Okay, that's cool. Well, forts can be broken down. Yeah, it's a good job we do have DMSs there. It's a bloody good job, isn't it? But that's a very naughty move of him. Very, very naughty indeed. But at least we are rectifying the issue immediately. How many mines, I wonder, do they actually hold? Okay, well that's kind of an... Was that in port? That must have been a ship in port. Sorry, old. That's a good question, therefore. I'm not too sure. I think submarines can catch other submarines on the surface, but I don't think surface ships can catch submarines on the surface. I think the reason why submarines can catch submarines on the surface is because obviously they're under the water, so they can catch them unaware. I've seen it happen once or twice, but it's usually quite rare. Yeah. I think the rationale is obviously a submarine would likely see see a surface ship coming. Ah, looks like he's going to be attempting to move assets into Moresby once again. He's very, very persistent. Very persistent. Right, I'm hoping that we don't... I'm not going to say it, Not going to say the words. But ideally we clear all the mines out of truck today. Right, yep, there we are. We are detecting ships out there near Perth. Oh, we did have a nice, nice haul with the I-25 last turn, didn't we? Okay. Yeah, subs are kind of wacky, aren't they? They are kind of wacky. Right, we are bombing here at long last. Yep, there we go. Supply dump hit. Okay. So it does have the flag. I think we're going in at about 15,000 feet. So we should be relatively okay. I might increase that altitude. But it's interesting to see that he actually does have the actual proper flag here. That's something to know about. But we're going to continue to hit the airfield each turn now. Try to prevent him from building fortifications, of course. Okay, hitting the runway over here. Just wanting those supply dump hits, really. I do wonder how much supply he has. I can't imagine him having much. Actually fairly effective here today. There's always that chance he might be flying it in. Sorry, he might... Well, maybe he flies it in, I doubt it. But he could always also use subnews, perhaps. Or it might be that they are just out of supply and we haven't attacked enough to find out. Hey, did I get it? Good to have you, my man. Right, he's attacking this force over here again. Okay, that's fine by me. Scene 139s, we are responding with key 43s. Yeah, I'm aware of Evoken. He's just had some ridiculously good rolls. There we go, shoot one down, just nice. I'm not too sure what he actually has in the TOE. And if you can find out what the actual Philippine units have in their TOE regarding an AA, then I'll load the altitude. It's kind of kind of the reason why I haven't loaded is I'm not entirely sure what their TOE is. I'd rather not waste aircraft. But if it's something something small, then yeah, I'll certainly go lower. No problem on that one. Oh, this is looking pretty good here. We're actually getting a good go at them for a change, really, which is quite nice. I think they were about 15. I mean, if somebody could do me a favour and just see what they have in terms of, like, actual equipment, at least then I can actually go for an altitude then. Oh, they don't have any AA? I just assumed that they did. And if they don't, then that's fine by me, then can adjust that. Okay. Just 2 Philippine divisions there. Yeah, G-Man, they are bad divisions, but they've had this tremendous bit of luck. Like, this almost sickening amount of luck. We have had some crazy bad rolls there. Okay, continue to hit the runway. Not especially hard this turn due to the weather it seems, but even a few hits a day is still good enough. As long as we can just keep that damage up. I do not. You'd have to go back a few streams, I reckon, to probably find that. Yeah, it would do. It would do indeed. Okay, moving into the land phase. Right, good. He has moved over here. I was a little bit worried about that. So I'm attacking here once again. We did have a crazy bad roll last time around. I'm hoping that we don't have a repeat of that. Right, 6-1, 508 to 83. That's better. Right, they're lacking supply here, so that's fine. So we have 182, so 29 disabled, 4 disabled, 1 destroyed, 2 disabled. We destroy 64 squads, and, sorry, 7 disabled, 9 disabled, 3 disabled. Well, he's out of supply, or very low on supply, so we can keep on attacking there. We are seeing a deliberate attack against this force once again. It's just the 76 here, but the one holding out. 0 AA. Oh, that's great to know. I just assumed that they did have AA. I can reduce the altitude then, no problem. 37 for attack in there. And the good news is we're targeting the 76 Chinese Corps this time around. We also do have a 12/B that has arrived. Oh no, so the /A that has arrived as well, so that gives us a little bit more though I'm not sure that they're in the right mode. So he holds out once again. He's lacking supply now, that's good news. Right, so we have 574 casualties, 2 destroyed, 40 disabled, 4 disabled, 5 disabled. Not much in the way of actual damage caused here. 457, 1 destroyed, 58 disabled, 15 disabled, 1 destroyed, 3 disabled there. We do have another unit in there to actually help us out. Issue is there's a lot of cores, so that damage gets spread out to a degree. And the times 3. Right, we're attacking here once again. So the 7th Armoured Brigade has finally arrived here. That's a fairly powerful unit, isn't it? Fairly powerful unit. I was hoping that they wouldn't arrive in time. But we'll see. We have 2 divisions here. We do have a tank regiment as well. We have the RF Gun Battalion. But I'm not too sure they actually participate in the actual battle itself as such. They would on defensive. It looks like we destroyed an enemy unit as well. It's going to be an interesting one, really. He may hold on due to the 7th Armoured Brigade, but these other units are in bad shape. So 1-1, 708, 490. So we don't force them to retreat then due to the arrival of the armoured. So we have 1,428 casualties here. 10 destroyed, 149, 149 disabled. 1 engineer destroyed, 11 disabled, non-combatants, 9 disabled. 1 gun destroyed, 15 disabled. We inflict 773 casualties, we destroy 54 squads, disable another 43. There's 5 non-combatants destroyed, 20 disabled. 2 engineers destroyed, 1 disabled. 3 guns are destroyed, 8 disabled. 2 vehicles are destroyed, 8 disabled. We destroy a unit as well. Okay. See, this is it. I'm not a fan of the ground attacking. It can help, but I just don't think it's that tremendously useful, really. It does help to a degree. But I'd like to attack their supply. Right, attacking over here. We're going to have the 14th Tank Regiment sent north and afterwards. Assuming they win here, but apparently not. I don't know how we have these situations where they have no AV and yet hold on forever. It's really annoying. Right, attacking once again. Oh, in clear terrain, is it? Well, that's fair enough. And if it is more effective in clear terrain, I can give it a go, but... I suppose I haven't really tried it in clear terrain, but at faster altitude. So, okay, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go, then. I'll say that again. In all other situations, I'm more of a fan of the airfield attack, but, well, if people say it's more effective in clear terrain, I'll give it a go. And that's actually really impressive now. So we do take the base at long last, which is nice. Okay, 21s. That's pretty good. Oh, they finally fucking surrender. Holy shit. It's only freaking 84 of them. That's ridiculous. But they're finally bloody gone. God's sakes. Right, so see the 2 base forces over here. Knowing our luck, they'll probably retreat somewhere. Bloody ridiculous. Yeah, where they're going now. Last show. Yep, of course, of course. Of course. That's annoying. That's annoying. Right, well, we'll have to track them down. It's a pain in the arse, but it can be done. We expand Langson. See a number of assets there expanding. I didn't realise I was fortifying Hollandia. Okay. No, I'll lower the altitude then. So you reckon 3k? I mean, if they have no AA, I suppose it doesn't particularly matter, does it? You can go essentially as low as you like. Within reason, unless they have like the 7.7 MGs or something like that. The AA MGs, I mean. I guess 3k is definitely safe, but if anybody has a suggestion, then that's fine. So I'm going to make a quick save here then. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Tulagi area. Okay. That sounds ominous. Okay, take a look in a second. Tulagi. Ah, yeah, coming back in again. Yeah, not too surprised that it's very strange, isn't it? But he's just continuing to do it. Very strange. We do have a little bit of fuel, but we do have a subs out here as well. I mean, he's coming in, and this is it. We can kind of predict which path he's going to go for. I did actually go ahead and send... where is it? It's not here. It's not there either. It should. Is it actually in port? I didn't think it'd make it in port. Okay, so I went ahead and actually sent the tanker out here. I was going to originally have it sent to Talagi, but in all honesty, it's just not safe enough right now. So I decided we don't have much in the way of fuel here at Rabal, but I would just unload it at Rabal. We can have assets take it to where it needs to go, and it's a lot safer that way, really. These ships are returning back to Rabal here, which is handy. And it looks like we have unloaded the troops, which is handy. I'm gonna have to do that database thing. We need to get this database shit sorted. For real. Let's go ahead and just save it here. So it definitely seems to cause some sort of lag there. Well, beforehand, we didn't have much in place to stop him. I mean, sure. It's okay saying, well, send KB, you've always had KB, but the issue is we haven't always had KB in the position we wanted it. And most of the time, it's not actually been... Well, it's not even that much of a threat, really. It's more of like an irritation than anything else, really. But even so, I mean, I don't know. Right, prompt on next turn. Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Yeah, as Gareth says there, it's working, but what is he really achieving? He's damaged the airbase, okay. He damaged some aircraft, but he didn't destroy any aircraft. The damage has been repaired. I mean, you could argue he's destroying supply, but that's like... I mean, that's like a consolation prize. That's like it. Well, MKB wouldn't have even been in this area. Like, literally, MKB would have never been sent for this sort of task because we would have just kept it in like, Indian Ocean area, Dutch East Indies area. It's a task really for actual air bases, and they're getting built up. Like, we're at 80% over here at Shortland. So when that's actually at a point where we can actually transport things over there, we're good. Sure, we'll take a look at that. So today we're looking at 3 139s and a Hurricane, which is nice. We did see a full Mar last turn, which was intriguing. So the ship that sunk today was interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised that she sank. I think she was in port. Yeah, she was in port over here at Marek. A little bit surprising, actually, just... No, it didn't hit a mine at Merrick. That was a while ago. That ship's been there for a long-ass time, as far as I'm aware. Remember, we have cleared Merrick mines. It hit a mine at Merrick? Are you sure? Because we had a ship there for a long while. I'm sure we did. I'm pretty sure we had a ship there beforehand. So we didn't hear anything hitting a mine. There wasn't anything moving in that area. Yeah, sure fall. That's so bizarre. That's fucking weird though for there to be a mine there. That's bizarre as hell. I'm pretty sure we cleared that at mines as well, so I don't know. I find that so bloody bizarre. Unless he's laid additional ones on in the time since. But it's weird that we didn't hear any sort of, like, mine sound then. Very bizarre. Right, they're taking their sweet-ass time to unload. Still undetected, which is great news. Hey, didn't adjust. Right, so we are unloading them here, which is good. Just need to get this blind to the port there. Nothing major as of yet. Right, we'll go lower then. No, I did not. Not too shocking, really, but that's not nice. We'll go for that then. I'm looking forward to seeing how effective that is, actually. I've never actually tried it in a clear terrain at such low altitude. It's not often we get that sort of chance. Okay. 76 bombers, eh? So we need that supply to arrive. Okay. So the division's obviously fatigue there. That's not too bad, man. Oh, yeah, not too bad. So what we'll do then is obviously go for our defense here till we get rid of that fatigue. And that disruption, more importantly. I do have the actual support, which is very nice. I'd like to say that the RF gun battalion will... I don't know, they're a very strange unit. Very, very strange unit. You think you'd be able to use them on deliberate attacks? Very strange. Right, I do have a unit over here to Magoo to at least hold that. It is a massive pain in the arse, so we have to go to such lengths. What I'm going to do then is actually have you march down here then to Tungo. Actually saying that, that is a trail there, isn't it? Well, it's still quicker than anything else that could really get there. They have the Stuart light tanks. They're actually pretty good tanks. I'd actually really quite like to have some Stuarts. There's 5,000 supply in Rangoon. Don't worry about that. It's obviously because it's having to go up here. Obviously, it's a lot of usage by divisions. We pulled more supply out of Rangoon, obviously, to transport it. There's supply that will transfer over there. Rest assured. Oh, hey, they actually did quite well there, loading. Ah, yes, they were at 900 the time before. It's very slow. I'm just going to get a decent chunk of fuel and then move it over there. I thought I might as well do that. There's sadly not a lot of supply here, but I wanted just to get some fuel out there, then I'll have them shifted elsewhere. I don't like the idea of having them just move elsewhere with no cargo load. It's just like a waste of fuel at that point there. Right, so we're loading supply here. Okay, good. Additional units being moved over here. Well, I mean, they're still pretty good. I'd love to have them. Right, they're loading to be moved over to Little Anderman. Still building up over here at Port Blair. It's also going to slow down, but even if it takes 4 turns, even if we make 1% a turn on the port expansion, probably not going to be 1% a turn. But as long as we keep expanding the port, I'm fine. We're not too far from level 3. The Allied tanks are over here. They were there at Ramry Island. They're now here. I'd be very intrigued to see what his supply situation's like. It's probably not too bad, but it's not going to be great for him, really. I'd love to go ahead and land a unit over here with like an APD or something. Easy said than done, though. Okay. It's not a tank division, it's just a tank brigade, I think. Tank brigade, or is it tank battalion? I forget which one it is. It might be tank brigade. About 100 something. 100, what was it, 150? Something like that. Mine is. That's so bizarre. I do think that is like... That's very bizarre. I don't know how that was missed then. But it's weird that it was even... That's very weird. It's very, very fucking weird. Yeah, brigade better. Right, I've sent the division out from Nanchang to actually pursue these fellows. Finally caught up to him here. Fatigue's not bad. We'll attack again. Yeah, they have anti-tank guns in there. 17 ready there, obviously 18 total. There's another 21 there, 22 total. We do have the RF gun battalion there with another 18. That's strange, I can't remember sending that ship out there. Very bizarre. How you doing there, Shiva? Good to have you, my man. Okay, I guess we'll have to go clear that of... Random event. That's bizarre. I'm gonna say, because that's strange. Very strange. Huh. Yeah, I can remember hitting the mine, but it was just in port, so okay, that makes more sense then. I was going to say, I can't remember anything like a mine going off, so I'm sure we bloody well cleared it. How many miles did the units near Kianko march? It's it's secondary road, so I'm going to imagine 15 at best. Yeah, 15. So we made 15 miles today then. Okay. So we have a little bit of airfield damage here, which is good. So looking at 33 units here, we have 9 out of 10 clear skies today. Overchunking, a little bit of detection there. 9 units here, apparently. I was hoping to get it over here as well. Yes, Urban Light, okay. I didn't realise there's tier 6 qualifications, but it's good that we can actually fight him over here then at Kianko then, so that's quite handy. So we can continue to bomb him here. That would be nice. That'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting one. Okay. They've got a fairly high amount of disruption there. Well, I mean, we're going to be going south soon anyway. Oh, but you mean like this way, right? I get you. I get you. And we'll have troops moving on this way anyway, and then obviously troops moving that way shortly. The other division has finally arrived, which is nice. This has been built up to size 2 airfield, which is good. But I decided to go ahead and move the bombers out here to Canton. But I think we're more or less ready to go with the divisions here. Let's see. A little bit fatigued, but that's absolutely fine. There's no garrison required here, which is great, but we have that base force, which is very nice. So what we're going to do then is begin the march. We'll begin to push this way. Yeah. Which is relatively... I mean, arguably that's only a short length of time, really, isn't it? When you think about the length of the Chinese theatre and how it normally goes, really. So set them to follow, actually, sorry. They can remain here. There's a lot of naval support. I really do need to get it deployed elsewhere. Okay. So 40th Division has arrived here. So we're looking at 2450 AV. I think we can go ahead and consider attack. It's times 2 terrain, but I can't imagine he's in a great situation now. We'll go ahead and we'll order an attack. There's a lot of units here. I didn't realise we had a tank regiment. I forgot about that. Yeah, so we have some tanks here too, which is nice. Okay. It does concern me there's moving units this way. I did expect something like that would happen, frankly. Right, so I do have 27th Division here. Put them into combat mode, so they'll move into that hex tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to have another deliberate attack carried out. They're going to be in combat mode, so they might actually join in that attack. I don't think they'll do particularly well, but it's not a bad thing. They can go into combat mode. Right, so we kick him off here. So he's moving over here, which is not too surprising. He's moving here, but that's actually not a bad thing. I could actually potentially get something moved there to wait him, really. Right, we finally arrived here. Cool. Going to the deliberate attack. Just trying to round up these units. Try and force them back to Yan'an. We are moving the 11th Tank Regiment towards Dingisia. Right. The 10th Division will arrive tomorrow. I was hoping it would have arrived today, but that's okay. So we can attack here tomorrow. And then, of course, there is the core over here to Sining. But I can essentially subject that to siege, try and drive it out. Ideally, we could take... I mean, to be honest, we'll see about that. I could probably take all these other bases and then take that and try and force it to surrender then, really. So we arrived in the hex here. So I can go ahead and conduct a attack. Okay. These units making good progress. I'm glad I sent those. It gives us a few units out this way to actually just garrison bases with, which is quite useful. Okay. Looking forward to seeing how this will work out for us. Hoping it works out well. I can't see it not, because this is it. It's got, I mean, there's 2 units there. Okay, so 9 out of 10. Seeing 4 units out here. 2 divisions and a supporting brigade should be enough, and then we'll obviously have additional forces join them as we gain them. But being able to push on this front is very nice. Yeah, almost. Right. 51st Division's arrived here. So let's take a look at the roads. It'd be far faster to march up this way than Major. I do wonder if it's worthwhile attacking that. We're going to soon have it surrounded. And then what I'm going to do here then is we'll march a unit in from each direction, take control of the hex sides, then we can have those units moved elsewhere, just leave a unit there to either attack it, or have them all attack it. I don't know how particularly strong it is. We'll go for it like that. Right, so I control that hex side there, which is excellent. Yeah, we'll go for that. 51st Division can continue on this way then. Okay. Taking every base in this area is really nice. So let's see then. Major road up to Kukong. Kukong there is going to have some sort of garrison, one would imagine. Xi'an? Taking Kukong's good. It'd be nice to have this so I could actually control this road here to a degree and possibly threaten them here. But I think I do want to just take every base I can, so this one doesn't require a garrison, so it's not a bad idea to march out that way to begin with. We'll have to take every base, obviously, but not a bad idea to start there. Be nice to get like an armored unit to go take that if it's indeed empty. Okay. I think what we'll do then, when these forces are actually freed up, I can actually have them sent out this way. Possibly. I mean, the good news is, with the amount of pressure we have here on northern China, that does obviously, I mean, as we can see, he has a large amount of his units over here. But I mean, that's going to be interesting. I mean, if that's actually as suggested, then it's 72,000 men. That's not a great deal of men there, is it? Not a great deal of men. I think we'd probably have a good chance of breaking that. The terrain's ×2, which is not excellent. But I think we'd have a good chance. I think we'd have a good chance there. We do have the actual Kwantong army aiding us with the planet now. Which is useful. Just need to get another garrison here, just make sure I can get that. See, would have arrived in that hex had I had not forgot to send a turn. Well. What I'm going to do then is have them move out here. We'll catch up to him soon enough. Yeah, they'll arrive next turn anyway. He'll likely retreat that way then, I'd imagine. Maybe even down there towards Ankang, perhaps. Maybe there. He might retreat that way. Armored car company's moving up that way, so we'll get a unit on there. I still got this road here, so it's not a big problem. Bend the backside, if anything. Okay. And see. Not too far away. Right. We're in combat mode right now. Maybe just arrive back here. They're actually going to come in quite handy because I can make use of them. So I'm going to have them told to march that way. Okay. I'm sending the tank regiment across the river here. It shouldn't trigger a shock attack because... Yes, we have 5th Division here at long last, which is good. Okay, they're moving out to Tongyi. So we have that. artillery here as well has arrived. So, we should have more than enough AV here. I'm not too sure about that just. I'd imagine probably will have some supply. It's probably not going to be a great situation. But the other units with him are pretty roughed up. What I'd love to do is get the bombers there. My one worry though is, well, 7 hexes, I think he can cap that. And I really don't want to have to deal with all that. I'd love to get units behind here, though. I've got 1 out of 4 detection, which is interesting to see that this is supposedly empty. What I'd like to do is actually run detection here, because I could go ahead and use paratroopers event to possibly seize that gap. I mean, it's a strong brigade, but, I mean, this is it. It's still just a brigade. It's armoured units, but this is it. What does it do at this point? Its entire free terrain. I mean, okay. He can obviously cause us problems when we attack, but it can be defeated. And he can't attack us because, well, this is it. He would then be defeated. So it's a situation where we could just keep essentially bombard him if we wanted to. But we'll rest and attack. Rest and attack. Right. I didn't know CB. I don't know about that actually, very Vulcan. See, I did have my mods changed. It has changed the colours, so I'm not too sure. It may be, but I'm not so sure. It does look to be yellow, so I can see what you're saying there. It might be. I'm not sure. It'd be a strange place to have it to Congo. But who knows? Maybe you are right. Maybe it is. Fairness given enough. If this becomes a problem, I can send additional tank units out here to give us more AT. I should be able to tackle that. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Well, I mean, this is it. It's often been mentioned as a possibility. He might have bought it out. It's hard to tell in fairness. My mods have been changed around as well, so colours that would be easier to define, well, distinguish, might not be now. I can't recall, because I think I've just used an IV default. I'm sure it'll be one of those things that we'll find out in time either way, really. Sure. It is like a slightly brighter yellow, isn't it, compared to that? It does look slightly brighter. It does. It's a yellow. But yeah. Ooh. Whoops. There we are. Okay. So there's the AKs down this way. That's good. Possibly. I mean, we could do some reconnaissance to try and figure it out in the future, I guess. Or bomb reconnaissance, eventually. Right over here. Good. Finally, Blue took this over, which is really nice, because I can finally make use of these guys now again. That was ridiculous. That was frankly taking the mick there. Right, so he laid mines at truck, which was interesting. It's not showing mines today. That's really, really... I think that was you there, Gary. Yeah, the enhance. Yeah, I think that might have been you there, Gary, who put these DMSs here. Or have they just arrived? Actually, no, they might have just arrived today. So I did send another 2. So they've either just arrived, or that was just really prudent to have them on ASW. Oh, they just arrived. Talk about timing. Talk about timing. Damn good timing there. Yeah, I could do a supply shipment here. Tell them to stop building fortifications. 4k supply there. Could do like a supply run out this way. Okay, they're headed north. Looking forward to having that koi. And we're moving a koi out here to Twangi. The reason being so we can actually make use of aircraft from here. So we're still looking at the 5 units. We're not seeing the ship today. 9 auxiliaries there still. It looks like he's definitely trying to hunt us around this area. A little bit of detection there. Ah, see like that. Just have a good one, my man. That's an intriguing one, the CM. Maybe he's going to try to get in there to lay mines, perhaps. Aye, I'll see you again soon as well, my friend. I'd love these bases to flip to our control, that'd be nice. Yeah, indeed. Right. So we do have a good chunk of supply out here. Since I get that level 1 airfield, I can actually fly in the naval headquarters to give us a command HQ. But I'll likely go ahead and fly in additional construction units, just really speed up the process as much as possible. Also makes it safer too. Also makes it safer. We're looking pretty good so far. It's definitely one of those turns of where we are going to continue with our plans. I am being cheeky out here, but at least we can confirm he's running detection there. So I'll shift them elsewhere then, as he's running it. Probably, maybe around this area. Oh no, we're not attacking Wake right at this moment. We've got a few days left until that comes about. Just assembling the forces for it at the moment. These guys were loaded, the infantry regiment was loaded on here, but I've actually gone ahead and, because I couldn't actually have it shared between the AKTs and the AKs, so what I'm going to do then is wait for the additional AKs to arrive here and then we'll load up. How you doing there, stuttering hiccups? I like that name, by the way. No, D-Day is not cancelled. We'll say, should we say W-Day? Not cancelled. I wanted to make sure I could have them spread out as much as possible, really. It's not a bad thing, too. The good news is that it has a little bit of supply there as well, which is excellent. Yeah, just waiting for our forces to be assembled. We have 2 Naval Guard units moving up over here to truck. So we'll have things sorted out. Just preparing for it, really. We do have our division. Yes. Okay. Yeah, wake free. The Wakening. We do have the 2nd Division being sent out there as a possible second wave. Tanks are being moved out too as well. How you doing there, G? Good to have you, my man. Good to have you. I know, it's fine. I'll forgive you this time. But only this time. Okay. Yes, an awakening. Alright, I'm glad they have an actual escort here. How long until Sazu is actually repaired? Oh, a day. Excellent. Not a bad mood at all. Not a bad mood. I'm just tired as all. The university is definitely busier than I would have imagined. It's definitely different as to what I was imagined. It's definitely COVID-opulous. And yeah. History's piss easy. Not had to do anything for history really as of yet. Japanese though, oh my, oh my. But it's well worthwhile. 4 years, at least then I'll have my specialist degree in the language. And be fluent, which is nice. I think after that point, maybe I'll potentially look at pursuing employment there, or potentially pursuing a further study in the actual country itself. Which would be expensive. Right. Pancakes are nice. I'd like one of those. Okay. That I found rather annoying. I'm going to split them up actually so they can just try to recover squads quicker. Try and get some replacements in there if ideally possible. I want to open up that road there. That's been an annoying impediment there. I do have 26th Division. I initially was going to have them sent out this way, but thought, you know, it is actually probably a better idea to have them sent out this way. We may be looking at pushing on Changsha shortly, and I will have additional forces available from elsewhere, such as out this way soon enough. We don't have higher hobs here. I've never even heard of a Kirby laying calf. Never even heard of that one. That sounds pretty cool. It's the 8th virtue. Where's the place that does pancakes here? I don't think I know anywhere that does pancakes here, actually. It's an Austin, Texas thing. That sounds cool. Okay. It's very local. From what my sources have told me, apparently Gary 3D prints the pancakes, feeds it to local children. He remains at large. Or rather, the pancakes remain large. Oh, that's pretty impressive. You can't see this, but like outside my window, somebody's got a torch who's walking their dog, but the dog's actually got like a light on its collar. That's pretty cool. Don't see that every day. Well, you don't see it any days because it's Saturday night now. You don't see that every night. There we go. Oh, how you doing there, Zop? That's a brilliant time to come in as I'm talking about a dog. This game is Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. It's a superb game. Definitely gets the scale of the Pacific War into focus here. So I'm currently playing as the Japanese Empire. This is a play by email. The game is turn-based. My opponent is called Admiral Dadman. He's playing as the Allied Forces, the entire Allied Forces, so that is the US, UK, obviously the Raj, the Dutch, French to some degree, the Australians, the Chinese, the Russians later down the line, Canadians, New Zealanders. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody. That's pretty cool. So how often do you wear these collars to the clubs there, OCB? I can imagine they're quite popular. There's not a whole lot for me to do right here, actually. It's a fairly good turn. We've had things going in our favour. I'm just waiting for things to actually arrive where they need to arrive. Speaking of, yeah, supplies arrived here, which is good. Excellent, okay. That's a good deal of supply there. I'll keep Hanamashiro Jima going for some time now. I'm going to turn off the airfield expansion over here. Stop that. Yeah, so we're looking good there. We'll have our 2 divisions of Brigade March. I didn't anticipate having, mixed regiment. But the regiment does come in quite handy because I can actually have that used. The engineers are nice. They're not IJ engineers, but they're still engineers, so at least they can actually help us build in some sort of facilities up elsewhere. But they do come in handy because I will need garrisons, and that's the arse of the problem here. That's the arse of the problem. What I was considering doing is potentially even using paratroopers to actually act like an ad hoc garrison. But I'd like to actually go ahead and grab some units from elsewhere. We do have naval guards units, so I can transfer them in via air transportation. But we've got to find them. I'm just going to find some units to fill in the gaps there really afterwards. We'll get them. We'll get them. Local chain. That sounds pretty cool. Making me hungry here. Okay. I'll go and check on the industry. So we're looking at 48 here on the A6M8. Right, they are repaired. It's going to be a few days, at least 16 and at least 17 days there. Yeah, I think you should. I will hold you to that. Now, send me some of that sick jerky. I want to like get just some freaking beef jerky. Like Christ, I've got all you Americans out there. None of you have actually sent me jerky. None of you. I need some Australians. There's probably some Australians that'll be watching us at some point. I will get a PO box if you people do send me jerky. I just want to try jerky, man. There's crazy stuff out there. I mean, AT Parmentier, I don't think he's watching right now. He might be watching right now. But he needs to send me some goddamn chocolate. I mean, who gives a shit about fan mail? And like, you can't eat that. Who cares? Except, my sugar daddy, my Swiss sugar daddy, he knows who he is. He sends me model aircraft, which is awesome. And then I get my little brother to build them because I'm too lazy. Okay. Right, I've kind of reached the end here of what I can actually talk about. Building that naval shipyard pulled back up, which is nice. Milky turkey. Or is that like oh, milker. That's like, wait, what? Milky turkey. I'm like, I've never heard of that in my life. I was thinking, how does that work? Is it turkey that tastes like milk? Is it milk that tastes like turkey? Or is it turkey doused in milk and set aflame by the flavour? Thank you very much, G. I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much there, Gary. I will appreciate that too. Right, let's see. I'm talking shit. Yeah, Whole Foods, just send it all. Fair Cobra. I will take a look at that, my friends. It just seems to be an awesome thing. It's just, I like stuff like that. I'm a big fan of, like, savoury stuff. You know, that sort of stuff we can just chew it. I don't know. I'm more of a fan of the action of consumption, if that makes sense. Some would say I'm on rare form today. Right, so Langson there. Tanakan expands fortifications, Hollandia. Okay. Port units arrived, just nice. Yeah, this is why I do have a jerk talk room. I actually went on to Admiral, no, Tortuga. Tortuga Power, that's it, yeah. I was going to Admiral Tortuga. Yeah, I went onto Tortuga Power's Discord. And I said, just got too many rooms. And he's like, well, you've got too many rooms. I'm like, well, every Discord, frankly, is a jerky discussion room. I mean, like... I tell you what, I'm going to have to make a voice chat com room in the jerky channel and call it the Circle Jerk. Circle Jerky. Okay. I should remember that one, I'll do that. Frankly, half of those rooms are there just to amuse myself. Okay, so captured this here, which is excellent. I do have an amphibious force moving around this way. It was joined by a light cruiser and 2 DDs, the Nokhazi and Namikaze. There's 2 torpedo boats in there. I'm hoping it'll be okay. I feel like once I do send it beyond this point, it's probably going to get whacked. But we'll have to see about that. This base, does it require a garrison? Thankfully not, because I hate bases that require garrisons like that. As we'll continue to chase these enemy forces down then. But that's only one more base then, of actual any substance, of any substance I should say, remain on Sumatra here. Oil, not so much as of yet. We are getting things set up. So we have the Jakes established in quite a few locations here actually. So we have Jakes there, there, there. Missed any of us? It will keep expanding as we go on, though. Well, this is why I'm looking forward to one of the East too, because rather than it being like a glorified whack-a-mole, there is like an actual system to have units assigned to the garrison, which looks quite fun. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Oh, looking frankly pretty good here. There's not much I can genuinely say because things are just progressing now, progressing quite nicely now. How are we doing on the airfields? 91. 45 here. Okay. Right. So these AKLs and AKs here, I can go ahead and potentially consider sending troops down here to Buna, or at least at least an aviation unit of some kind, or a base unit of some kind. But I'll concentrate to send in the actual construction engineers down here. Once we get to the position of where we have the shotguns established as an actual viable base for torpedoes, it's going to make it essentially more than risky for him to do something like this. It does feel like the quiet before the storm, though, because it's been a long time since we saw his carriers. It doesn't have to necessarily use them. There's not a reason for him to not when he actually decides where KV is. Okay. Just arrived here long last. I'd imagine so as well. I dream of the day they arrive, and it looks like it is finally drawing close. Right, okay. So we got 37 AV there. They'll arrive tomorrow. Yeah. Java's not too far, it's just all those units of Bandowang. I really wish we could have been able to destroy them. He had weakened himself immeasurably by the surprise shock attack, which I don't think he intended to do, really. So he did weaken himself there. Oh, thank you very much for Sidewinder for the follow, my man. Good to have you. Good to have you. Sorabaya. Well, Sorabaya is a clear terrain hex. I don't know what the qualifications are like. He's got about 16 years, which is interesting because that number seems to like fluctuate. I've seen it as low as 12 and now it's up to 16, which is intriguing. He might be flying these units in from somewhere. He might be flying them in from... Oh, I tell you what, that's probably what he's doing here. Yeah, and I bet you he's flying units in from Jakarta. Jakarta, how the hell you want to pronounce that? He's probably flying them in from there. Yeah, still got the auxiliaries. He looks to be trying to save them, really, whatever the cost. Not that it's really costing him anything, but he's saving them nonetheless. So we're at 8 disruption there, 25 fatigue. I'm going to go ahead and order another attack. There's every chance it does break. We do have an additional regiment moving up that way. We do have our additional naval guard unit over here now, which is good. Right, that's still on strategic mode. I should probably take them out of strategic mode. I keep forgetting about that. Both saying that, I'd like to cover another base, and yeah, that level 4 air base is quite nice. We'll have it moved down there via rail. The naval guard unit can be moved down here. It gives us a good chunk of additional AV there. 15cm howitzers will come in handy. So what I'd like to do then, I'm not too sure how strong that is. I'd like to attack it when I have a second armored unit here. I might be able to give it a go. I'll give it a go. We'll attack. Yeah, we'll go for that. If I can take that hex there, if I can take Malang, then we're in a good position then. I've been moving the 1st Raiding Regiment across here. I'm going to have it shifted out elsewhere. There's a paratrooper unit that left Singapore today. That's heading up to Canton. I'd like to look at how we can use the paratroopers in China. He hasn't left any bases open as far as we can tell, so it's not going to be an easy case there. But there could be ways we could use them. Yeah, it's a nice map mod, it really is. I think you have to get used to it first, and then it does grow on you indeed. Right, let's see. Oops. Yeah, it's a bit funny at first, but you get used to it pretty quick. Okay. Disappointed there. He's in that ×2 terrain. It's just annoyed that he's holding on so well. Right, now speaking of aircraft and open terrain, I have a chance to use them. Okay. Yep. I'd like to keep hitting that. At least I can actually bomb ground troops. Well, I mean, that's it, isn't it, really? Once we do take that, what I could potentially go ahead and do is... Actually, I thought it was the size... I think light bombers could potentially fly from a size 1 airfield on offensive missions. But it'd be quite nice to, like, use the light bombers and attack them in the open terrain after the battle. I feel like we'll probably win. I don't know. I'd like to say that we'll win that. He's got some 3,000 men there. We'll either win outright, or we'll win really in time, because we do have the ability to grind them down. There's a lot of Chinese units there. It's not even the large amount of men we face as such, really. I think, how much was it we faced at Xi'an? Was it 50? 150? I know Xi'an's like times, well, it's clear terrain, but even then, it was still quite a lot of men then. I think he had more raw AV at Xi'an than he'll probably have at Qiankou. We know he has one corps that got its ass kicked. It wasn't completely destroyed, but it was obviously wounded. That'd be intriguing. Obviously, hitting the airfield prevented from building fortifications, but we also have a chance of hitting his airfield supply too, which will cause more problems. His closest centres of supply, though. I'm looking forward to seeing it fall. We've almost completely repaired Xi'an here, which is nice. It'd be very nice for us to have that. All that additional oil there. Once they're gone and out of the way, we're good. Yeah, I mean, I can actually use the tanks then shortly. Okay. So we'll go with that. And I'll say... it's 90 oil at Lang Chao. We captured all that oil at Lang Chao intact in the refineries there, which was nice. There's about 20 oil maximum here at Xi'an. So we'll have about 110 oil there, taken from China in total. Urumqi has 51 oil, so I'd like to take that. I do have these actual tanks planned for Urumqi, just try and give them additional preparation by the time they get there. Ideal they'll take it. It is wooded. Wasu is wooded rough, which is interesting. But there we are. So, very interesting turn. It's intriguing to see the tanks at long last. I'd love to bomb them. I might consider bombing them, but we don't have the actual... Well, we have the zeros down here at Port Blair now. And in fairness, it's been a few days since we've actually seen him out of the Bay of Bengal, which is actually quite intriguing, actually. We do have the 9 H6 K4s operating out here on Naval Search. As far as yet, they haven't picked up on any activity. 20 doesn't seem as far when you actually look at it like that, but that's a fair distance. Yeah. It's funny actually how it looks like practically nothing that way. It just doesn't look as far, but it's a considerable distance. It does help to insulate Palembang, helps to insulate really the entire Dutch East Indies. I'm going to have Christmas Island IO taken in the near future. Go ahead and take that base there shortly. Just need to take every base. We are taking bases. That's been expedited, which is nice. Just looking forward to seeing it really accomplished. Right. Horn Island, GG, yeah. I know there's a couple of units out there at Horn Island. Right, cruiser mine layer. Okay. So we'll go ahead then and call it here. So thank you so very much for watching, my ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise, I'm not going to be around anywhere near as much as I used to be. Of course, we're starting university, my time's going to be taken up by that. I think I've spent, I don't know how many hours this last week now, really trying to cram, well, not cram it, but just learn it. It's gonna be tough at first. I'm hoping it's always, well, it's gonna be tough whatever until it's finished, but a bit worthwhile. A bit worthwhile. I get to insult people in Japanese then, which would be fun. I mean, why else would you take a degree in it if not to do that? But it's gonna be good. There'll be fun times. There'll be fun times. There'll be bad times, but there'll be fun times too. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do go ahead and potentially consider supporting myself as a creator. It's actually absurdly expensive to be a student. I had to buy a bloody printer, which is annoying. It turns out the university does not give a single shit if you don't live there. They just assume you have a printer. I'm like, I've managed all these years without a printer, now I need a goddamn printer. So I'm gonna bitch. I'm gonna bitch about having to buy a printer. It's a cool printer though. Wireless. I'm gonna bitch about it though. Until next time, have a good time. And it was like 70 quid. It's a lot of fucking cash. That's a lot of cash on a printer. Until next time. Oyasumi nasai. Sayonara.